Today's video, we're going to talk about shifting. So today we're going to go over a video for students, an instructional video on the basics of double clutching. To get your license, you have to be able to double clutch and shift a truck like this. If you've never driven a stick shift before, it's actually a little easier to teach you how to do it. When you're double clutching, it's all about pop, pop, okay? Clutch on your left foot, shifter with your right hand. When your left foot moves, so does your right hand. It goes just like that, all right? Pop, pop. Until you get that rhythm down, you're gonna have trouble, but today I'm gonna show you a little things that we can use to get that rhythm down easily. So one thing to keep in mind is clutch pedal only goes to the floor when the truck is sitting still, all right? So we're gonna put the truck in gear. This is an 8-speed transmission. Doesn't matter where you have an 8-speed, a 10-speed, 13-speed, 18-speed, you gotta double clutch to get your license, okay? So we're gonna let up off the clutch slowly. Feel it get, there we go. All right, now we're moving. Thing to remember when double clutching is we do not push the clutch to the floor, okay? Remember earlier I talked about that pop, pop, that 1, 2. So we're gonna get our RPMs up to 1500. RPMs to 1500, and then we're gonna pop, pop from first gear to second gear, just like that. You're only pushing the clutch down a little bit past the free play, okay? Just a little bit. One thing that I tell people that are having trouble with shifting is you take the ball of your foot, okay? You put it on the clutch pedal. When your heel hits the floor of the truck, don't shift past that point. That'll keep you from pushing the clutch pedal down too far. And what we're doing is we're racing the tachometer. All right, we start our shift at 1500. We want to complete that shift before it hits 1000. If it gets below 1000, we're going to have to rev our engine back up, get our RPMs back up to the sweet spot, and try again. It takes practice, but with practice, you'll get that 1-2 timing. You have to be able to double clutch on the road test. Always want to have two hands on the wheel. That's another habit that people have when shifting is they go like this. They rest their hand on the shifter. That's points on the test. We don't want to do that. So again, we're taking off. We're in first gear. We're going to go from first to second. Get our RPMs to 1500 RPMs. Pop, pop. First to second, just like that. You see how I barely pushed in the clutch pedal? That's all you need. Another thing to keep in mind is this shifter here. You don't need to have a death grip on the shifter. The lighter you are in the shifter, the easier it is to see things like the right hard wall in the spring, okay? Now I'm in third gear. All right, I'm gonna go from third to fourth, nice and easy. Pop, pop, just like that. Just that 1-2 timing. All right, so now we're gonna go from fourth gear to fifth gear. Fifth gear is the start of the high range. Switch up. 1500, we're gonna go pop, pop, fourth gear to 5 gear. Just like that, 4 to 5. I'm in 7th gear right now, and I'm gonna demonstrate downshifting. Downshifting requires one extra step. We're gonna get our RPMs to 1000. We're gonna clutch to neutral. We're gonna rev our engine back up to 1500, and we're gonna clutch to 6th. Clutch to neutral, rev it up, clutch to gear, just like that. We can do it again from 6 to 5. RPMs to 1000, clutch to neutral, rev it up, clutch to gear. We're gonna do it again, one more time. Now we're going from 5 to 4, my selector switch is down, RPMs to 1000, clutch to neutral, rev it up, clutch to gear. You just do that all the way down until you can come to a stop safely without coasting with the clutch pedal pushed in.
So we just went from about 40 miles an hour down to 0. How much of that was the brake?
How much of that was the actual brake? Very little.
Okay.
I only braked enough to get my RPMs down to 1000, and then I downshifted. Did the same thing, braked until my RPMs were at 1000, and then downshifted. And now we're gonna upshift again. Pop, pop, clutch to neutral, clutch to gear.
All right, so in this video, we talked about double clutching. What about floating?
Well, floating is a technique that gets used by many, many people out on the road. That's for after you get out there on your own. To get your license, at least here in the state of Maryland, which is where our school is, you have to double clutch. You have to show that you can double clutch. So if you have other tips and tricks that you use, useful tips and tricks that you use, feel free to drop them in the comments. anything that's helpful is always useful, because that's all we're trying to do right now is just help those that are having difficulty trying to learn how to shift, to help them get their CDL.